I remember a time in Deadlock when Wraith's ultimate was considered one of the most oppressive buttons in the game. This was a while ago, of course, like before the great lifesteal nerf of 25. Much of the community at the time, especially in lower ranks, were begging for a telekinesis nerf. But what really frustrated me about this whole discussion was that a very popular quote-unquote nerf that people suggested was to make it a skill shot. Thankfully, Valve didn't just do that and call it a day, because that would have been a god-awful mistake that effectively nerfs nothing about why it was so oppressive in the first place. Sure, people in low ranks would be freed from Wraith's ultimate, but for anyone that spends any amount of time playing the game, she'd still be nearly as much of a problem as before. This isn't even something that you could say is feasibly an argument, since they actually added a hero whose ult is very similar, but it is a skill shot. And the reason why Spirit Lasso, however, isn't necessarily considered oppressive is because Holliday also can't shoot while towing her lassoed enemy, not because of how often they're caught by it. Well, that and the fact that it's actually the rest of Holliday's kit that people normally complain about. You might be able to see where this is going, because now I'm going to talk about Crackshot. Pre the 6 hero update, this ability was absolutely in contention for the most overtuned, unfair, unfun, and interactive in the game. Now we have Mina and Paige. For those of you that don't know, or just don't remember, Crackshot deals extra damage when Holliday lands a headshot. It's not that Holliday's gun is particularly easy to use or anything, but there's nothing fun about your enemy landing one headshot and you immediately lose 10% of your health in the early game. What makes this ability even worse is that it can't miss. I mean, obviously she can miss a shot, but missed shots don't take it off cooldown, so you can never bait it out. Yes, aiming as a mechanical skill takes, well, skill, but it's not nearly as important, especially in this game, as good macro play or teamwork or just overall understanding of the game state. For example, take a look at Mo and Krill. They have a shotgun and 3 AoE abilities, and their ultimate is a point and click that can't miss. And while low skill players also complain about Mo, it's actually just a skill issue. Point being, Mo and Krill objectively take almost no skill in terms of aim, yet feel much more interactive to people who actually know how to play the game. I don't think aim as a mechanical check should be thrown out the window entirely, but building a hero's ability around exclusively aim is always going to return the same feeling. That is, the game feels uninteractive. The argument is often, well, doing that takes a lot of skill, so I don't feel bad. And by that, I mean specifically that's what people will say about the nurse in Dead by Daylight. I actually haven't seen this argument anywhere else, and I feel like everyone just always hated this, but that's the argument that someone out there will make, I guarantee you. And besides, that thought doesn't make laning against Holliday less annoying. We're getting hit with a carbine, assassinate, serrated knife, spirit lasso, drifter's mark, etc. Even items aren't free from this, considering how annoying capacitor is to play against. Furthermore, there's so much CC in this game that half the time that skill shots don't even take skill at all. I'm not saying Mo and Krill necessarily take a lot of skill to play, or that they require more skill than Holliday, just more so that they require a different form of skill, like understanding the game state, or summoning the strength in their fat fingers to move to the 4 key. Take a Deadlock hero that's generally pretty inoffensive, Viscus. Viscus is one of the few heroes that doesn't have something in his kit that feels really annoying to play against. I mean, there's Cube, but I genuinely haven't seen people complaining about this ability. To explain what I mean, there's Jumpstart, Sanguine, Retreat, Stoneform, Bloodletting, Soul Exchange, Return to Shadows, and that's just off the top of my head. They're all abilities that generally you have to bait out before you can actually start dealing damage to that hero. And Viscus does have one of those abilities, I just mentioned it. I don't know why Cube generally slips under the radar, but it genuinely doesn't feel that bad to play against personally. It's not like Viscus can't deal damage either. Splatter and Puddle Punch can do a great amount of damage, especially with how strong Spirit Snatch is. And then there's his ult. Goo Ball absolutely should feel annoying in theory, like just on paper, but it doesn't inexplicably, considering the fact that it deals stuns and can do so to the entire team. Now you probably already know where I'm going with this. Gooey's whole kit feels inoffensive because every aspect of it is very interactive. Puddle Punches can be parried, Splatter's projectile is massive and slow, the cube can be turned off with Curse, and Goo Ball is so large and obvious that if you get hit by it, it generally feels like your fault. Let's now compare Viscus to Holliday, since apparently this is a video where I act like a low rank and tell you she's oppressive. I mean, for the record, she's not that oppressive right now. I'm just saying that she's not fun or interactive to play against. Barrels, when dropped right in your face, have no counterplay. There's no dodging them, and unless you have counterspell, there's no parrying them either. Oh, just back up when Holliday approaches you. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Except, oh no, wait, she just jump padded over in the span of half a second, which is a nice segue to that ability, because it gives her a free escape to pull whatever bullshit she wants, like, say, jumping in my face to fire a barrel point blank and then leave, which I can't stop. Skipping Crackshot to talk about Spirit Lasso, since you've already heard about that one ad nauseum. It's a stun ability that comes out incredibly quickly. Yes, you can see it coming in theory, but for the same reason as barrels, sometimes you just can't do anything about it. Which pretty much sums up my whole problem with the hero. Objectively, she takes a lot of mechanical skill to land her headshots and Spirit Lasso, but that doesn't make her a good addition to the game. Viscus objectively requires much less mechanical skill in the way of aiming, but still has a massive skill ceiling and is a fun addition to the game both to play as and against. Anyway, if there's one thing you should take away from this video, it's to ping Yoshi in the official Deadlock server to remove Sanguine Retreat, Return to Shadows, and honestly everything that Hopu worked on that isn't Spirit Lasso, because apparently without him that would have been a point and click for some reason. My name is FighterJet, and that 10 minutes of yappage was what I call a video. Thank you for watching.